Okie dokie. So this is your wiring for MSD 6AL-2 programmable box to a GM style large cap or coil end cap HEI setup. This can also be used with a remote coil setup HEI, but this is specifically for coil and cap, or large cap, whichever way you like to call it. So the MSD box takes care of everything inside of your coil, inside your distributor. My bad. Um, if you would like to get one of these, I will show the part number. This is that style. Part number. It's the black one. The only difference between the black and the red one is just the color. Nothing else. This box, as an overview, only can pull timing. You cannot add timing. You cannot, change the fuel tables. It is only a timing retard box. You can retard timing for boost. You can retard timing for a two-step, your launch control, any of that. This box takes place of a lot of stuff. This box comes with this serial cable. Now, to run this serial cable for this box, you will need to get a serial cable to. God, this video will not focus. Focus, please, so you can see. So you'll need to run a serial cable to USB adapter. Sorry, it does not focus. It doesn't want to focus. That is the main thing you need to put a tune into that box. So this is the wiring for the box that you're going to use if you have a coil end cap HEI distributor. So you have your purple and green wire goes to a harness, goes to your own harness. This is your factory distributor magnetic pickup. This harness is going to be removed. It has its own purple and green wire that's going to go into the distributor. Basically, this piece right here is what goes from your distributor cap. These two prongs right here is what your purple and green wire are going to get hooked to. Normally, they're the same color in the car, actually in the distributor, as they are. I have not seen one that's different, but if they are, they got two different size plugs on them, so it's really hard to mix them up. But if it doesn't work, then it's mixed up. You can check it by, when you hook it up, put power to the box, and if you turn the distributor, every time it passes a reference point, the box will flash a light. That's how you know you have it hooked up right before you put it all together. I did have to remove my cam gear off the distributor shaft to get this out. So be aware. Please make sure you know that. And if you never have done it, watch a video on it. I'm not going to really dig too deep into it, but there's enough videos out there for it. So the other thing you need is your red to your 12 volt ignition switch key, or ignition spot, anything that gives you a 12 volt. Your heavy red and heavy black, please hook that to a battery. Don't run it to just something that you know might be a 12 volt and a chassis. You will get a misfire and it will drive you crazy. I'm not passing the map sensor or the coil or anything because there's a million videos on this. All your launch and two steps and all that stuff, I'm not getting too deep into. If you do have a aftermarket tack, like a big drag race tack, old school tack, this gray wire right there is an output to your tack. Do not hook that to the distributor. You'll burn up some coils. Alright, so to the distributor, we have your purple and green wire right here. Let's see if you can see that pretty good. So your purple and green wire right there is going to your distributor. It's going to the magnetic pickup in the distributor where that black piece that I showed you with the harness on came from. Then you have right here your orange and black. So you have an orange and black harness. Here it's saying it's going to this coil. to here, you hook it up differently. So this orange and black is back here, hooked to the distributor. You put your orange to be positive on your distributor. You put your black from this harness, the same harness, your black. I wish this would focus. You can see. Here we go. So your black from this harness. God, this thing does not focus. So your black to your C negative. So orange to B positive, black to C negative. Then you have a middle spot, which I don't think I can show. You have a middle ground. Yeah, so you see C negative gets the black. Your ground is going to get a chassis ground. And then the B positive gets your orange wire. Your ground, I have mine hooked up there. That's my ground to my distributor from there. Now, if your car did have one of these, or you're kind of skeptical on what's going on or anything like this, the battery and tack on the back side and ground, well, battery and tack on the back, right? Correct? You see that? You do not have anything hooked up to those two. Nothing. So your MSD box takes control of your battery. So that ignition wire that comes out of your factory distributor, the big purple wire on some GMs, the red wire, I know it's red on Fords, it's red on a couple of different cars. That red wire that goes to your coil that makes it hot, like the hot side of your coil, is no longer used. That is going to be a 12-volt source from what I use for my box. So I basically ran a wire out to the outside and hooked into a spliced my wire and made a connector, and that's my 12-volt. It goes to my box to turn my box on. That's what you need. If you hook a 12-volt up to this, you'll end up like me and melt the coil. It was not a fun experience. It was not fun to find that out. Also, do not hook your tack signal up to it because you will send a bad signal in there and you can melt your coil. So the only 3 wires that you need hooked into the back of this HEI style distributor is your orange to B positive and your black to C negative, and your one ground to a chassis ground. That's it. No other wires need to be hooked up into this. To your box itself inside the car, I recommend putting it inside the car. Some people like to put it out here on the firewall away from the heat. Well, just try to keep it away from heat. Electronics and heat don't mix. But your box that I have sitting inside my car, hook the red wire to the positive side of the battery, the black wire to the negative side of the battery. If it doesn't reach, please extend the wires. Please make it reach. You'll get a cleaner spark. That's what's sending your power out. So you want to get as much power to that box to make as hot of a spark as you possibly can. There's no need to spend the money and doing it half and getting a bad spark out of it. So that is the MSD to HEI setup. If you want to make sure your box is working right, it does have a flashing light on it. I will give you a demonstration real quick. You can probably see it when I turn the switch on. It flashes. That lets you know that your box is live and active. If it does not flash, then you have no power going to it, and you will get no spark. That's what I did originally. I had it hooked up to the battery, and I didn't have it hooked up to a 12-volt source to turn the box on, and I could not get it to work. I think the box only really needs 5 volts, if I remember correctly, but hook it up to ignition or to your ignition switch that you remove from your coil. It'll make it a lot easier. Test these boxes to see if it works. The harness, the big harness up there that's kind of tied up and look like it's going crazy behind there because I haven't fully cleaned up everything yet. But that harness, the green and purple harness that goes into your distributor that I showed you that picks up your magnetic pickup, or your crank trigger, whichever one whichever style you have. But the green and purple wire, you can take a paper clip, jump the 2 wires. So basically all you're doing is taking a clip, sticking it in the purple, basically making a purple and green wire touch each other. You can do it with a piece of wire too, but that's what makes the coil fire. So if you are trying to see if you're getting a signal or whatnot, that's what you need. So recap, in box, all you need is your purple and green harness, your orange and black harness. Purple and green harness goes inside of the distributor, takes place of the controller inside of your large cap HEI distributor. It only plugs into one spot. Your orange and black wire goes to the first set of terminals on this large cap HEI. Your orange wire is going to be the B plus. Your black wire is going to be the C negative. And your ground is going to be a chassis ground. Those are the only 3 you need. And that uses your orange and black wire harness. The tach and battery back here, nothing will be hooked up to them. Your 12-volt source from your original ignition setup can be used to turn your box on and off, or you can use it for something else, or you can just unhook it and never use it again. That's all you need to make this work. If you hook your 12-volt up to the battery on your distributor cap for this large cap HEI, you will burn your coil up. It interferes with itself, it gets very hot, and it melts. Other than that, that's all you need to do this setup. Thank you for watching.